I was like starring in a movie with Dennis Quaid, and she came to set with my dad, and Dennis was very nice to them. He was a huge star, and they couldn't believe it. And then as he was walking away, he was really nice. He said to me, like, "Oh, your mom's cute." And my mom overheard it.
But I was fine.
Dang.
Doctor said I had a jaw steel, you know what I mean?
Oh my gosh. I would brag about that.
Yeah.
I would brag about that.
Well, my favorite was when she farted in bed. And I insisted on doing the sound to get it right, because I'm an expert in farts.
Well, your husband has been here a couple times, and I have to ask you this because the first time was awesome. You have to see this. I want you to watch before we talk. Here we go. You're a high fiver. I love it. I'm a hugger.
Oh my God. Wait, the slow-mo high fives? Oh my gosh. What is happening? You're not doing repeats? That's like all in one?
Yes, there you go, sister.
Look at your face. Look at
Those are legit. Those are not repeats. Those are all the high fives.
All I can say is like, what a weirdo.
No.
And he was sitting close enough to hug you, and I'm so far from you, and I want to launch myself on you and hug you.
No, he was so
You know,
nice.
and actually, the other thing I'm thinking is maybe he was onto something, and he was like having a psychic premonition, because the high-fiving is very 2020, and that looks like it was very 2019. So, you know, it's like, let's elbow now, high-five, and sanitize.
I was like, my question is, does he high-five a lot?
I feel like that's him very excited. I don't know. Maybe he was so nervous around you. That's like, maybe he's not excited in our house. I don't know.
It was awesome.
That was special.
I was like, he loves. We were all like, he likes the high five. I was like, I like it.
I just think
it made me. You know what? I'm gonna tell you. It made me feel really good. I was like amped, ready to play a game of some sort.
Totally.
Yeah.
He was amping you up. That's what he was. He was pumping you up.
He's so fun every time he comes. He just came in, and we had his alcohol in here too, and it was so good.
Yeah, it's good.
And yeah, but I love you two. You both look like you're coming from like some really cool fair, like festival. Always, you look like so put together, and like I'm like, oh, that's what people look like sometimes, I guess. Not me. Have you ever been hit by a sports ball?
I have. I have been hit at a Major League Baseball game. I'll set the scene for you. I was on third base side, so that's right where third base is. First, second, third home. Third base side. Guy hit a line drive, which means straight across. There was nothing that broke, like where the ball was coming. The security guard that was with me actually ducked when it came my way, and I went like this, and it smacked me clear as day in the mouth. There it is, hot.
Holy moly.
It bounced off my face and landed behind me, but I was fine.
Dang.
Doctor said I had a jaw steel, you know what I mean?
Oh my gosh. I would brag about that.
Yeah.
I would brag about that. Thank you so much. By the way, I know I keep saying this, but like, thank you for jamming with my band this summer to KOKOMO. That was so cool.
It was such a pleasure and an honor. That you guys are fantastic. I wanted to do more, like, you know, like do some stuff in the backyard or like underwater or something, but it was right when the pandemic started, right? And it was a whole thing, but I was grateful that you asked me. Thank you. I love that song. And I know, you know, I listened to the tape and you said, I love that song. I said, I love it too, Kelly. It's a cool song.
Yeah, it is. It's such a, and everybody loves it, no matter what genre of music, you know, maybe if it's not generally your vibe, everybody loves that song. You're in the original video, weren't you?
Oh, yeah. I was in the video, yeah.
Well, we're not gonna skip over that. That's freaking awesome.
But look at this. It looks like Mike Love and I are in love. Like, I play a little bit, and then he's like, you know, pointing at me like you know, that song used to be, before it was a hit, we did the video at Disney World at the Grand Floridian. And, but we would do the song. Do you have one of these songs where it wasn't a hit yet, and we would go into it, and it was like the restroom and beer break, you know, where it's like 30,000 people as one, like stand up and then.
Yes, that's always, it feels good in your soul when that happens and you're on stage.
But then it becomes a hit and you're good.
Yeah. Oh my God, a huge song. So how did you start playing with the Beach Boys? That's random.
The Beach Boys, you know, I love the Beach Boys. I don't know, who's your all-time favorite artist?
Oh, this is so hard for me. Every time someone asks, I literally have so many. Aretha, Annie, Bonnie,
Right.
Trisha, like all of them. Yeah, yeah. They're all females.
Right.
Sorry, guys. Yeah.
No, that's good. But like that, the Beach Boys were that for me. Like I would never even dreamed of meeting the Beach Boys, let alone play with them. And I went to a concert. A friend of mine was playing guitar. I went to a concert. I was on General Hospital at the time. And I went backstage, like the show was over. They were still going to do the encore. And I went backstage and all these cheerleaders chased me in there and some girls and they're screaming. And Mike Love turns to my friends and says, "Say, who's that?" You know, so that's John Stamos. He's on General Hospital and always has girls chasing. And Mike Love, without missing a beat, goes, "Get him on stage." So I went on and played Bob Moran and I played with him for, you know, it's over 34 years now, something like that. What a treat in life. I just love it.
Yeah,
it just makes so many people happy and me happy.
Random, the happenstance of that, like how that happened. That's so cool. So we have to talk about Sex and the City. Did you have any favorite episodes? It was such a huge show with pop culture.
What was your favorite episode?
Well, I think my favorite, because I think it's like the worst thing ever, is I think she got broken up with Carrie got broken up with on a Post-it note.
Oh,
I feel like, I was like, that is wrong, is all there is to that.
Well, my favorite was when she farted in bed. And I insisted on doing the sound to get it right, because I'm an expert in farts.
You are still a boy. I love it. Child at heart.
And that was a good one, because then she tried to put her head under the covers, and it was like, no, don't go there. That's where the trouble is. And then later on in that scene, I got to put what do you call it? You know those things that made a fart sound.
Like a whoopee cushion?
Whoopee cushion, yeah.
Yeah.
She's out getting a glass of wine, and I put it on her chair, and we're discussing a future vacation. She sits on it. It's like, yeah. So that was always good. And I also enjoyed falling into the pond with her in Central Park. That was a one-take shot. We had one take to do it, and I love that picture.
Oh my God, it's such a great picture.
Yeah, that was a good one. There are so many great moments in the series of comedy and. It was just a blast to do it.
I hear that your mom has a few famous admirers, which I love this. And I've never seen your mom, and I'm like, I gotta check out your mom.
My mom is a good-looking woman.
Okay.
Shout out to Pat Grace.
Yeah.
And this happened when I did this film, In Good Company, with Dennis Quaid. I couldn't believe it. I was like starring in a movie with Dennis Quaid, and she came to set with my dad. And Dennis was very nice to them. He was a huge star, and they couldn't believe it. And then as he was walking away, he was really nice. He said to me, like, "Oh, your mom's cute." And my mom overheard it. Oh. And sadly, my dad overheard it too. And it was like a real bummer for that. But like, she really took it to heart, and you know.
That's so nice.
Yeah. And then when I went to the premiere of that movie, I was waiting in the lobby of a hotel. I was meeting my mom there, and she was late. She was with my dad, but she was getting her hair done because she was going to see Dennis again. And she,
your dad is like, I hate this.
Yeah, my dad was like not like looking forward to the premiere or something. But she, I was there in the bar and I saw Liam Neeson, who's also, you know, great,
love Liam Neeson,
attractive,
yes,
other big star. And he said, "Why are you waiting here for your parents?" And I told him this whole story. And then I said, "Just get out of here. You don't want to meet him." And he said, "No, I'd love to meet your parents." So they came in. And Liam Neeson, I've never seen him again, but I think this is the funniest thing ever. He goes, "Patricia, it's so lovely to meet you. Dennis Quaid told me you were cute, but he didn't do you justice."
Oh my gosh.
And she like passed out. I mean, she couldn't believe what was going on.
I would have died. He's one of my favorite people ever.
And my dad was like, "Oh,
your
what the
dad
hell?
was like, "Are you serious? Come on." He's like, that's amazing though. She must have felt so good.
She worked at a private school at the time, and I think she was back at the school saying like, "Oh no, now I'm causing this rift between
Dennis and
Liam, and like I just shouldn't even go out there anymore."
Boys. I want to meet her.
Yeah.
So your movie Palm Springs was huge last year.
Oh yeah.
And I think I heard this right, but is it true that you learned quantum physics?
I learned,
because that's really method.
Yeah, I'd say I didn't learn them.
Okay.
But I researched enough to know exactly what I was talking about. There used to be this long speech in it where I explain like the time loop.
Yeah.
And then when they screened it for people, everyone sort of felt like, well, it's superfluous at this point. Like, we've accepted they're in a time loop. We don't need to know why.
Yeah.
And so it was like pages and pages of quantum physics stuff. And I memorized, I like learned enough to know what I was talking about. And the minute we wrapped that scene, it was like, gone.
Yeah. And did you say they cut it?
They cut it.
That is,
it's the tail end of it, isn't there?
a little inside for you, Jessica.
I know.
Like learning all that and doing all that hard work, and then you're like, oh, cool, it's
But
just on the floor.
That happens so often because, you know, obviously you don't have any control, like with the edit, and you'll do something like a monologue or like a scene that like feels really good, and then they'll be like, and here's the final product, and it'll be like the tail end when you're like, and that's why I don't go to restaurants, and you're like, oh, okay, got it. Yeah, well, okay.
Cool, solid.
Yeah.
Well, congrats on all the success with Access Hollywood and Access Daily. It's being renewed for 3 more years?
3 more years.
Oh, congrats.
That's awesome.
Right? And what's funny about that, and I don't know if anybody here can relate, thank y'all for y'all clapping out there, is I got that job at age 40. And you think about a woman at age 40.
Wait, but how is that possible if you're 38 years
now
old?
that I'm 32. And at 50 now, it's funny to look back. And at the time, I had a bunch of stuff going on in my life. And the joke is that I told my agents to hold all calls, but literally nobody was calling. Like, nobody was looking for me. The phone was not ringing. So I got Access Hollywood at age 40. Wow. And a decade later, I'm here and it got picked up. So it's kind of, it's a neat story for me.
I love that story because a lot of people, especially women, like you said, it's a truth that most women at 40 aren't given a job for, you know, like that. That's not a normal thing. So I think that it's really cool and telling for a lot of people out there that are watching that are maybe like, maybe that dream's gone, like I've outlived that or something.
And when I got the call for it, way randomly out of the blue, I only went because as a stay-at-home mom, I just wanted a free trip to California, right? And so I'm away from the 3 kids, and I'm not kidding. I'm like, free trip. I watched the movie on the plane, and I was not thinking about this. Went to TJ Maxx, got the cutest outfit I could put together, self-tanned my legs, botched the whole audition. I was sweating, my legs were sticking together, the earpiece was popping out.
You were probably orange.
I was orange.
It
was a good Jergens. I was a nice little color, smelled good. And it's funny that after the interview, they called me in and I was like, we talked for about 3 hours. I said, oh my gosh, do you guys like me? Like, I am not moving to California. And here I am.
Girl, me too. I was like, I'm not moving to California. Yeah. Here I am.
Southern girl.
I just saw this video of you that you posted of your baby girl. We're gonna show it. She's super cute.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
She had so much fun. She's a water baby.
I love that. I love the water. I think it feels rejuvenating. So any sign she's gonna be into soccer?
Well, she better, you know, no pressure, but we'll see. I keep putting a soccer ball in front of her and she wants nothing to do with it. So hopefully one day.
Well, how is your prep for the Tokyo Olympics going?
Oh, it's good. I mean, we are in like full prep mode and, you know, on the field every single day, getting ready and obviously, you know, looking forward to it so much. And for me, I kind of get a second chance because it would have been really close after having my daughter last year. So now pushing it to this year, I'm really excited for that second opportunity.
Want more fun stuff? I thought so. Check out these videos floating around my head. This one is really cool. I'm just saying. No pressure.